back to the Fallon Frequency Podcast, your space for that alignment, expansion, and unstoppable energy. I am your host and mindset mentor, Fallon, and I am so excited to have you here because today I'm going to take you on a little ride. And that ride is the emotional roller coaster we all find ourselves on the moment that we say yes to our next level. I know you know the one. It's got lots of twisty turns and unexpected dips and the like, what the hell am I doing? What's happening? I thought I had this. One day we're super sure and the next day we're like the complete opposite. So I want to explain this more in detail so you understand what's happening. So we're diving into that energetic whiplash. It's like the behind the scenes of why your nervous system freaks out when you're growing and how we're going to navigate it with power, not panic. Because the ride itself doesn't have to take you out. You get to ride it differently. So let's go ahead and jump further in. Like I said, I'm talking about the emotional whiplash. It happens when we're deciding to jump timelines. If you have big visions, if you're identity shifting, if you are up leveling, this is for you. No one tells you how intense it can feel when you've said yes to this next level. They tell you to go for it, to reach your dreams, to like go all in. But when you actually do it, what's happening? Your body and your mind and your emotions, they are still trying to catch up. Even though that I'm doing this work every single day, obviously I'm a mindset mentor, right? I'm doing my own mindset rituals. I'm regulating my nervous system. I still find myself in moments where I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like 1 minute I'm on the top of the world and the next I'm questioning everything. I catch myself. I have a lot more awareness than I did a few years back, but I want to let you know that everyone feels this. So if you are feeling like you're stuck or you're confused or you're emotionally reactive or even honestly just feeling a little bit off, you are not broken. You're probably just mid-upgrade, which is a pretty fucking awesome place to be. So this episode's really going to walk you through exactly what's happening, why it's normal, and how to move through it with a bit more grace. So we're thinking a lot less panic. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So like I said, we're just going to name it right off the bat. This is the emotional roller coaster we are all, I'm sure, very familiar with. If you are upgrading your life, shifting identities, changing timelines, evolving into that next version of you, then you know the exact roller coaster that I'm talking about. It's got twisty turns, unexpected takeoffs, a lot of free falls, and the like. I had this right before some big ass emotional drop. Okay? It really doesn't matter what stage you're at, whether you're a beginner, you're just learning to up level, you are a seasoned entrepreneur, or you're deep into the work, or you're huge on mindset work, or you're literally starting to wake up to your next level. We've all found ourselves strapped into this ride at some point. And the wildest part is we often jump onto that roller coaster so willingly. We say hell yes to this vision. We say hell yes to this shift. But what we forget is that growth isn't always, or it actually is never, some smooth glide upward. It is duality. It is expansion and contraction. One day you feel as lined as fuck, and the next day you are literally doubting everything. Like I said, I have found myself there many times, and I am in this work daily. I coach other people on this. I breathe it, and yet the wave still hits. Just last week, I was on a next level high. I love when this happens, and it happens more often than not these days. Like literally just in this blissful state of everything, like universe totally co-creating with you, everything happening right, deeply connected to my purpose, grounded in clarity, unstoppable. And then come Thursday, old patterns, came knocking. All of a sudden I was just emotional. I had a drop of energy, and it was like, what am I doing? But I caught myself, I caught myself on that emotional roller coaster. It's not always fun and thrill. Sometimes you're literally like screaming for your life. It's like, hell yes, this is my breakthrough, to like your nervous system being hijacked and your stomach dropping. It's like, what's a good way to describe this? Like your inner child is clinging to the seat bar and you swear you never signed up for this level of intensity. But then, of course, the ride slows down. You come to a stop, you step off. You might be a little bit dizzy, a little disoriented, but you are high on adrenaline. And your body's like trying to catch up with what just happened. It can be a bit destabilizing, a bit wobbly, a bit foggy, and your energy's scrambled. But underneath it all, like there's still this weird craving. It's that weird like magnetic pull to get back on. The roller coaster. I don't know. It's like, I don't know about you or last time you were on a roller coaster, but when I was younger, it was like, it was like the scariest, however long they are, few minutes of your life. And then you hop off, you see the crazy photos, you rebalance, and then all of a sudden you like really want to do it again, even though during it you thought it was like the craziest thing. And I don't think we talk about this enough. It's like, it's this way we crave expansion, even when it shakes us to our core. Why is that? Well, I believe that it's because our soul is really recognizing what's happening. It knows that the discomfort itself is not danger. It's actually dissolving of who we used to be. It knows the chaos is part of the clearing. So once you've kind of had a little taste of that alignment or your growth, or, walking in a version of ourselves that feels closer to where we want to be, we can't unknow that. It's literally impossible to forget that feeling. And this is why so many different leaders in this space and manifestations and mindset, really try to focus on the feeling. Because once you've touched the feeling, you are vibrating at that frequency. You know that I talk everything energy. And that is exactly that. It's impossible. Once you've expanded to that energetic level, to your next level, it's impossible to forget that feeling. So it's about tapping back into that until it becomes our new normal. So it's like, even when, things are really intense for you, even when the drops in this roller coaster are feeling so steep, part of us is still craving the ride. We know what's on the other side. We know that we're riding this wild ass ride for deeper alignment. We want a clear purpose, more truth, more embodiment. And that's kind of where this real work is beginning. It's not in avoiding the ride, but instead, this episode is going to teach us how to learn to ride it differently. Okay? So I want to zoom out for a second here. When we go through massive internal change, whether that be a mindset shift, launching a new business, breaking old patterns, or literally just choosing a new version of ourselves, we're actually rewiring our neural pathways. So your brain's job is to keep you safe, okay? You know that your subconscious is constantly trying to keep you safe, not fulfilled. And you'll hear this time and time again. So when you're trying to make some big ass leap, your nervous system is interpreting this unfamiliarity as a threat, even if you're walking towards something that's way better, okay? So a little bit of science here. Neuroplasticity is literally explaining that when you start thinking differently, believing differently, and acting differently, your brain literally begins to create new pathways. But the old ones themselves, they're not disappearing immediately. So this is where things get chaotic. This is where we're on this crazy ass roller coaster, because you're walking between two different worlds. It's like you're not quite that next level, but you're also not your old self. It's like updating software on your phone while trying to use it. It's going to glitch. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to feel some friction, and you're 100% going to have some emotional whiplash. What's important to realize is we don't always recognize like that we're even on the ride until we're in the middle of some crazy ass loop. And sometimes, we can hop off, we can catch our breath, we can drink some water, and try to stabilize, but we're going to continue to get on even bigger, scarier roller coasters, because as a human that is evolving and up leveling, we know that this shit doesn't end. You don't just get to the top of the mountain and then you're done. You climb to the next mountain. So it's like you don't just hop off this next level growth roller coaster and that's it. You never have to ride one again. Every time we up level, every time we change identities, every time we are evolving, we're going to be jumping back on. And what I want us to begin to recognize is that this ride is the process of becoming. So today's episode is about normalizing that experience, okay? Making this emotional roller coaster actually feel safe instead of chaotic, making it feel more familiar. I want you, I guess, to feel less alone in the dips and less panicked when it gets super twisty, because I promise you it will get twisty. And the more anchored we are in our truth, you know, that this is happening and this is just part of the process, it's really going to start to concrete this idea for you that you're right on track. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about what this looks like. And, you know, I hope you're picking up what I'm laying down here and how quickly, you know, this ride can flip. It's like, I know we've all experienced it. It's literally like one day you are full lit up, full body yes, energy, clear downloads, everything in your life is flowing. You are taking action from alignment. Your vision is so alive in your bones. You are feeling the feels, okay? And then like it seems like it's out of nowhere, but you wake up the next day and you're foggy. You can't even remember what made you so sure yesterday? Why were you so fucking on point yesterday? And you find yourself doing these energetic leaks. Like you are scrolling, not a fan. You are comparing yourself and you are self-doubting. You are questioning decisions that you literally just made 24 hours before. Okay? This is the in-between. The in-between, I said on another episode, I like to reframe it as the sacred stretch. It's a very challenging space to be in, but one that we can rewrite that narrative. It's the energetic hallway, really, between who you were and who you're becoming. So this is the part where most people, they want to run or they freeze. They just totally do not want to be in this space, but you can't not be in this energetic hallway. Your old identity like doesn't fit you anymore. So it's confusing. You've outgrown it. It's not you. You don't identify with it, but your new one hasn't fully landed. Yes, you can see her. You've maybe met her. She still is a bit out of reach though. She's not your full-on energetic being yet. So it's very awkward. It's a bit messy and it's confronting, you know, and it's going to show up like imposter syndrome. Like, it's that whole, like, who do you think you are? Or you're not an expert at this. You know, it's just this constant, like, digging at you. There's going to be the emotional waves for no apparent reason. Again, the roller coaster. This is all about the emotional roller coaster. It's getting, like, weirdly tired. Or even, like, activated when, like, it's time to take a bold step. Time to do something different. Time to get out of our comfort zone. And we have a weird reaction, right? It's wanting to retreat or like completely cancel plans or hey, let's just fucking scrap the vision. I don't want to be on this roller coaster anymore. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Like, I don't think I can do this, you know, or even switching directions because it's not wrong. It's literally stretching you. This is the point. We are like putting ourselves to our edges, you know, seeing how many twists and turns can we really take. This, you know, liminal space will feel uncomfortable as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, it does. And you probably, if you're a go-getter, you might start micromanaging your own growth. You know, you're going to start this like really bad pattern of trying to force this clarity or control your I can't even talk. Control your timeline. But you can't. The truth is, this is the sacred part. This is the sacred stretch, this energetic hallway. It's one of the most challenging things to move through. But if we change our energy around the space that we're in, that's when everything shifts and we actually get to the other side of it a lot quicker. So again, this is where the old identity is dissolving and the new one is being coded in. You want to retreat. You're craving that comfort. You want to question everything. But the wildest thing is, you know Like, even what's crazy to me is like, you can do all the work. You read all the books. You know what's true. You know you're co creating with the universe. And yet, all of a sudden, your body starts speaking its own language. Like I said, you're getting tired and foggy and emotional for what you feel like is no reason. This is where most people are misinterpreting the whole ride itself. They think it's like a stop sign, okay? Like, get off this roller coaster. I got on the wrong one. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't have these emotional ups and downs. But that's not the truth, okay? We all feel the feels. And this is really more of us, I would say, anytime we really catch ourselves having that really, really strong awareness, it's really a sign for us to pause. It's a sign for us to process it and to keep going. That's where the growth comes from. That's how we push past this edge, right? So I want to explain a bit more of why this is happening to get a further understanding for you guys. Because when we kind of can understand the science behind it or why it's happening, and knowing that we're not just like freaks of nature, like this is part of the process, it helps us, I guess, not become aware, but it helps us deal with it. It helps us process it. So like I said, it's not random. There is this real energetic, neurological, and emotional reason behind all of it. So giving you a little bit of comfort so that you know that you're not crazy. Your subconscious is recalibrating. You've made a decision to expand, okay? You've made a decision to be seen. You've maybe made that decision to start leading or to change. And now your internal system is literally just trying to catch up. It's running like an audit. It's basically saying like, is this safe? Or is this even true? Or wait, is this even me? It's like, what is going on here? So it's really when you are stepping out of that comfort zone, even if it's a comfort zone that you hate. This sounds so crazy, but your brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar power. I'm going to say that again. Your brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar power. It's used to being in this survival mode pattern. It's used to not thriving. So it's going to try to pull you back to what it knows. Your brain, it does it out of love. It's always trying to help you and keep you safe. But safety isn't always, your step forward. And basically what it is you're experiencing neurological dissonance. Big word, I know. Your old wiring, so your thoughts and your beliefs and your habits is starting to clash with this new version. Like it's weird. It's literally like trying to run like a new app, like I said, on outdated software. It's going to glitch before it updates. It's honestly, it's the space of identity, death, and rebirth. And like any death, there's going to be some grief, there's resistance, there's confusion, but there's also potential. You are shedding the skin of who you thought you had to be. Emotional friction, completely normal. Your nervous system is not malfunctioning, believe it or not. The emotional roller coaster is your nervous system trying to adapt. Okay, it's like this. The chaos is part of the coding. So let me put it this way. Let me give you this analogy and see if this kind of helps things a bit more. Explain it in a simpler terms. If you imagine that you've been living in this small, cute, cozy little town your whole life, like so small that you know every street, you know every shortcut, you can literally drive it with your eyes closed, you know what neighbor makes the bread, you know where to get the flowers, all the things, okay? But one day, you're ready for growth. You're ready for this big move. And you decide, I'm going to pack my bags. It's time for me to go to a city, a new destination, a new place of potentiality, okay? So you type a new destination into your GPS. And you start this drive towards a whole new city. This version of you that's way bigger, way bolder, way more aligned for this growth, this evolution that's happening for you, okay? But the thing is, your internal GPS, okay, aka like your subconscious mind, the one trying to keep you safe, hasn't been updated in years. Why would it? You've been living in the comfort of your cute little cozy town for many, many years, okay? So it's happy there. It's been comfortable there. But all of a sudden, what seems out of the blue, is you start heading towards this new destination. And guess what? It freaks out. It's like you're lost. It's trying to reroute. It's trying to send you back to your old familiar neighborhood, even if that place kept you small. It's like literally on the thing. What happens when you you put your directions into your car and you take a wrong turn, and it's like, do a U-turn, do a U-turn. Like it's on fucking repeat until you listen to it or turn off the GPS. So that's exactly what's happening. I don't know why I just thought of that. But the reroutes, they can show up in a lot of different ways. Some that come to mind for me would be sudden fatigue. I've definitely had this in the past. It's like, oh, I don't know why. I had plenty of rest. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing all the things. And I'm just like exhausted. The mental fog, the emotional overwhelm. Obviously, emotions can take a lot out of us. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but it's like this anxiety that feels like it's like out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden you're anxious, which is super emotionally draining as well. So I want you to know, I don't mean to paint a bad picture for your subconscious here. Your subconscious is not the villain. It's the outdated navigator. It's trying to keep you safe by using old maps. It really doesn't even realize that you were trying to head somewhere new. Okay. Like I said, it's trying to catch up. And that bold step, that you're taking, this thing that's lighting you up, that might literally feel like it's threatening your system, is literally because it hasn't been labeled safe yet, right? You're going into the unknown. But here's the good news, people. You can teach your system a new map. You can update the GPS. You can simply update it. And that's why, it's very clear, like the why behind it. If we understand that what's happening, it's a lot easier for us to deal, with this emotional roller coaster that we're on. So now that we know why this stuff happens, the kind of behind the scenes, let's learn how to navigate it differently. So I want you to basically learn how to not lose your shit when you are mid-shift, when you are on your way to your next level, okay? How do you stay grounded when it feels like your internal world is being reorganized? I want you to shift from being like at the mercy of this roller coaster to being the one who actually leads the ride. Lead the ride with awareness instead of resistance. So there's kind of like 5 ways I jotted down on how to do this. Obviously, number 1, huge, is anchor into the vision, okay? Anchor into the vision, the connection with your vision. Your emotions are temporary. Your old patterns will definitely be lying to you. But your vision, that is your true north. You've got to keep coming back to it even if you don't feel ready. Anchoring into your vision, having that strong connection to your vision is huge. Now, I also want you, number 2, to let the emotions be data, okay? Not derailers. Feeling off does not mean you're off track. It means something's moving. So instead of you spiraling, okay, I want you to get curious. I want you to ask yourself, what is this showing me? What's being challenged or what's being upgraded? Let it inform you, not stop you. We're going to start looking at emotions in a completely different way. Regulate your nervous system daily. Okay? There is a reason, cold plunges, breath work, they are not just trendy things. They are literally tools to show your body. It's like, hey, I can feel this crazy ass discomfort and stay safe. I can jump into this bathtub of ice and be okay. I'm not going to die. I am not going to die of hypothermia. Going on walks, shaking, dancing, meditation, whatever helps to ground you, to regulate your nervous system, I want you to do it, and I want it to become a daily habit. Okay? I want you to stop trying to think your way into safety, and instead, we're going to create it. You can't wait for fear to go away, because I hate to break it to you, it's not going anywhere. Bold moves do not require over-analysis, okay? They require evidence. So you've got to take a step, even if it's the smallest, tiniest baby step, and prove to your nervous system that you didn't die, okay? You're not going to die if you go through fear. And this repetition becomes safety. And then the last one is, I really think it's so, so important to surround yourself with others who have normalized this roller coaster, okay? Community, when you are up leveling, is everything. When you see others on the same roller coaster as you can hold their hand when things are getting chaotic, and watching them rise, watching them go through the motions is reminding your own system, like, hey, I'm not actually crazy. I'm evolving. Community creates coherence. You're going to calibrate to the energy that you're immersed in. So I really, really want you to pay attention to that. Growth itself isn't about mastering your emotions, okay? It's about creating enough safety to let them exist without running your life. Okay, so that's a lot. I'm going to bring it full circle here, and I'm going to talk about, the truth about this ride, this emotional roller coaster that we are very familiar with, and it's just part of the deal. If you weren't experiencing these highs and these lows and the joy and the chaos, guess what? Then you're not growing. You haven't even fucking left the ground yet. You are still in line to get on that roller coaster. You haven't stepped through the gate and strapped yourself in. And what most people forget in this crazy experience is that you actually get to decide how you're going to ride this roller coaster. Are you going to be the person who's flailing their arms around, screaming for dear life, like really feeling like they're going to die? Are you going to be laughing so hard that you can't catch your breath? You're completely lit up by the thrill of all of it, and you've got tears running down your face. Both versions are possible, and neither version, like I just explained, either screaming for dear life or laughing so hard, are going to make you wrong, okay? But the thing is, one is going to have you resenting the entire ride, while the other is going to have you addicted to the growth. Like you are just having the time of your fucking life. So it's not about avoiding the emotional whiplash. It's actually about learning how to lead yourself through it. Big things are going to bring big energy. Big visions are going to demand big ass integration, okay? And big up levels come with big feelings. You are not at the mercy of the ride. Like I said, you are the one who is strapped in, okay? You're the one who actually chose this track. And you get to decide, the way you look at it. Am I surviving this? Or am I like so fucking here for this, cannot wait to ride this crazy roller coaster? So I want this episode really to be this moment for you to stop actually fearing this free fall, okay? And really start laughing through these loop-de-loops. And remind yourself and your nervous system that this isn't chaos. It's like the thrill of becoming. Let's change the conversation around the emotional roller coaster. So this episode is honestly not meant to scare you from stepping onto the roller coaster and stepping into this track. It's meant to empower you to own the energy around it, okay? To ride the emotions, to actually choose the experience of your evolution. Because the roller coaster itself, it's not an obstacle, it's part of the portal. And once you really learn to lead yourself through these loops, you will become unstoppable. So I want to remind you yet again, you're honestly, you are not too much. You're certainly not behind. You are not broken for feeling like you're on an emotional roller coaster. That just means you're in it, which is a pretty phenomenal place to be. It literally means that you're becoming everything you asked for. So I want you to take that deep breath. I want you to strap yourself in, and I want you to really ride the hell out of your timeline. Okay? So as always, it's been such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so very much for listening. It means the world to me to have you here. And more importantly, for you showing up for yourself and your own growth journey. That choice alone is so, so powerful. If this episode landed with you, if you've been on that emotional roller coaster, and maybe you've just realized that you've been riding it all wrong, I am so glad that we connected. This is the conversation that we need to have more of. Normalize things and make people realize that we're all experiencing this together. So please help me spread the word, get this podcast into more ears and hearts and minds. If it lit a fire in you, like it, subscribe it, rate it. It honestly makes the biggest difference and helps grow this community together to get it out, like I said, to more people that it would really resonate with. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead, hit that button. It takes like 2 seconds, so you don't miss another episode. And as always, if you're ever looking for more support, my DMs are always open. You can find me on Instagram at fallonmichaela.co. I love hearing from you, what resonated, what shifted, what you're stepping into, because that's what it's all about. That's the magic, and that's exactly why I show up here. So as always, I'm going to love and leave you there, and I will catch you next week.